Hi everybody, how are you? It's Jay Victoria, the Energy Queen, and this is the energy update for October the 27th. I do these energy updates every Sunday, so depending on where you are in the world, it might be Monday, but I know I have some clients in Europe, so it's New York time, it's Sunday night here. Anyway, this is when I'll be updating the energy updates. You might see a kitty or two in the background. So the energy updates are really, well, I'm just going to get into it. So the update for today is a few things. One thing I really want to tell you is that this is not a normal time, and I know like the world doesn't revolve around, well, I mean, the election in the US is kind of a big deal for the world too. So I guess it does. I mean, what I'm saying is there's a lot of change happening, and it's visible in a lot of public arenas, a lot of public places. And what does this mean for you? What does this mean for you and your life, and how is what you're going through connected to those other kind of things you might be seeing on an international stage? Well, on the way home, I was thinking about something, and I'm going to explain it to you. So I have the ability to see energy, and I see it in the world, like with my eyes and my third eye. I also can see it like with my third eye working on people. When I work on people, it can be at a distance because energy is unlimited. So I can work on someone across the world like they're right beside me. And I actually was working on the energy of a cat that I know, not one of my cats, just to help it out. And I could see something that I didn't really realize before, and that's that, stay with me if you're watching, that it's almost like I could see how the energy of the cat and the changes I was making in the energy of the cat, clearing the energy of the cat. What I clear specifically is negative energy, which is fear. And yes, like animals have souls like us, and so you can clear a lot of energy from an animal. And I realized all of a sudden, like, the changes I'm making in this cat are changing things in other places in the world at the same time. Why is that? And the answer is because we don't exist separately from each other. None of us. If I can change the energy of a cat in this world, and I can see that there's a connection between what I'm changing in that cat and somewhere else in the world. I actually felt like it was changing the place I worked, or I work a little bit. Like I could see there are connections, and not just like one connection. It was kind of like, it was just this aha moment of, we're all made of the same stuff. We're all made of the same spark of God. We're all made of that. So it's like when you see things happening on a bigger level, so to say, like with the election or with other things going on in the world, that may seem like kind of removed from you. The truth is they're not. The truth is we're all connected. So where does this bring you? Where does this bring the conversation back to you in your life? And well, one thing I want you to know is you're not separate from the things that you're watching happen in the world. You're not separate from it. And the battle that you're seeing between, I don't even know if I want to call it a battle, but it's like, you know, all the things that you're seeing happen, whatever you want to call it, the triumph of the light, which is inevitable moving forward. I think I like that better than battle, because the light always wins. but it's kind of like it's a purifying process. That process that you're seeing is not separate from you. And if you want to help the world get better and healthier, the best thing that you can do is help yourself. The best thing that you can do is look at your own life and how are you living and who are you being. And it's bigger than just emitting a more positive frequency into the world. It literally is like you are the world. It's like that saying, like seeing the whole world in a grain of sand. It's like, that's the thing about the energy world that I think surprises me, even when I realize things like this and I see things like this. It's like, how is that possible? It's not possible in the physical world. In the physical world, you and me are separate. In the physical world, if you're in France, I can't talk to you like you're right beside me. You're in France, right? Like, there are physical laws that we're used to because we live in the physical world. And so a lot of times we think that the energy world is like the physical world because that's just what we're used to. But the energy world is unlimited. It's not limited by the laws of the physical world. So in the energy world, you and I can be one. We also can be separate. And it's like both can coexist. In the energy world, you can be connected to all things, every plant, everything that's alive is the same substance as you. So if you want to, and do you feel that? That's like medicine. I can feel that when I say it. It's like there's this medicine of connection and the network of aliveness and beauty and grace that we all live in. And the truth of that is just that, it sounds like I'm on drugs, but it's like, we are God, you are God, I am God, we are all God. And it's because we're alive. We are the living, word brought to life. We are alive. We have power. The light has the power. And so that thing that I kind of call a battle before or struggle before is really the process of understanding that all negative energy, all fear, everything that is not love, is not light, is not the aliveness, is not real. It's an illusion. And what we do on earth is we treat it as real. And we believe in illusions. And that's where we trip up. And a lot of people, I'm not going to use this video to go into the election, but I'd love to do another video on that. But I think there's a lot of facts being thrown around, and it reminds me of like a high school election where it's like, it's like drama basically. And we're at a very high point of drama right now. It's just like, all kinds of stuff being thrown around. But one thing that I will say is that, and I'm saying this because I just explained that something like the US election is not separate from you because we're all connected, right? So energy doesn't lie. Like that's a fascinating thing. Other thing about the energy world is that you can't fake it. In the physical world, we can lie. We can fake. We can pretend. We can do it in so many ways, actually. You can, even like wearing makeup is I love makeup, don't get me wrong, but like, there are a lot of ways that we can sort of, it's not always clear. And in the energy world, that's not a thing. In the energy world, you can visibly tell light and dark. You can visibly, and you can't pretend light is dark. It either is or it isn't. And in terms of energy in this election, it's clear that there is one side that is about light, speaking about light, and one side that is not. And so that's what I'm going to say about that, because it really is, and that sort of like, I don't know what you want to call it, maybe tension, is a reflection of you. That's a reflection of me. That's a reflection of all of us. How are we not just casting a vote? If you're in the US, hopefully you are going to vote, but how are you voting with your energy just by being alive right now, anywhere in the world? Like, what side have you chosen? What side are you on? And I'm not talking about Kamala. I'm talking, well, sort of, but right now I'm talking about you. It's like, what have you chosen to believe? Because if you watch a lot of my videos lately, I talk about how energy is beliefs, and you get to choose the energies that come inside of you. And if you want to know more about that, check out my most recent videos called Getting Rid of Negative Energy Blocks. But basically what I'm saying is cast your vote. Like, who are you going to be in this world, and what are you going to pick? And there is so much temptation to not pick positive, but all of that will someday fall away and be revealed as an illusion. So you might as well just pick positive right now. You might as well just choose to believe in yourself. You might as well just choose that God is real, the resurrection is real, your resurrection is real and inevitable, and that's what you're going to decide. And how can you go about your life differently right now after watching this video to show that you made that choice? It's not easy to sort of shake off negative energy all the time. I get that. Like, I deal with this too. And the reason I can talk with so much conviction right now is because I did a lot of I was just on like 2 hours of train rides here in New York City, and that's a really good time to work on my energy because I have nothing else to do. So I was working on my energy a lot, and I was clearing out a lot of things that I really needed to clear out of me. And I wanted to tell you that too today, is like, this is a supernatural, I don't know how you say it, but this is like, it's a supernatural time. It's always been a supernatural time, but there's something about this time that feels especially like we're really close to a breakthrough. Like, we're really close to something, because I don't think ever before in history have we been so aware of the spirit world, like, and talking, like, even me doing videos like this, like, in a past life I was condemned as a witch and hung. So like, that's not happening. I'm actually on YouTube this life. I can talk freely, but for real, like, there's something really special about that. And I love, side note, I love talking to you know, souls who have been through that experience, because I really understand that. And ooh, there's more kitty fun. I have another video about my cats. If you want to find that, you'll understand why this is. I have kittens everywhere. Anyway, so but yeah, anyway, so I was trying to think of telling a joke about JD Vance, but then I was like, I don't really want to talk about him. Anyway, so I don't care if anyone thinks that that's weird that I have cats, because guess what? I rescued them and they're amazing. Okay. So anyway, but this is a really, like, it's a time where the world is, like, the two worlds are converging, at the spirit world, or the energy world as I love to call it, and the physical world. And so that's why you're going to see people like me as actual professionals, like, who work with the energy world, and that's like a real job. And it's something that actually helps people with their health and their mental health and their life. And it's an actual solution. And yeah, and so this is a really big change we're going through. And that's another thing that I would encourage you to do is ask yourself, like, how am I sort of still holding on to the old world way of looking at things? I literally call it, you guys, old world, new world. Like, there is a new world, and in the new world, the feminine and the masculine are equal. And another side note, I think that's why we need a female president, because the feminine and masculine are imbalanced, like this. Like, masculine, we value the physical world so much more than the energetic and the spiritual. So we just do. So how do we create balance? Well, we need more feminine. We don't need less masculine. the physical world is going to be there. We need to work with that, but we need more feminine. We need to value the feminine more. So a female president, yeah, that would be a really healthy balance, because that's more feminine energy. And it's the same with your life. How are you, looking at your life and saying the physical world is real and the energy world is not real? Like, literally, where are you doing that? And I'm going to call out a few people that I've talked to lately out of love, because this is something that I know can help you. It's always healthy to call out negative energy and illusions, because if you don't, they can really hold you back. So I've talked to a lot of and this is not just one person, several people lately who are very spiritually aware and able and capable and powerful, and yet they have limitations that they're believing about. They can't afford this or that. They can't, they want to do something, but they can't afford to. And I'm like, I get it, but at the same time, that doesn't make sense if you really believe what you believe. If you say I can't afford it, you're looking at your finances and you're saying it's limited. Well, what about the energy world? What if you put more value on the fact that God's in charge, that anything can happen at any time, and that, it's not to shame anybody, but like that's literally a skewed way of looking at the world, because there's possibilities that exist in the energy world that, that, like, looking at your bank account is not the final say. You know what I mean? Because the energy world creates the physical world. Like, that's the world that creates this world. And so we have to have more, like, feminine clout, like spiritual clout. Like, I want you to start walking the talk. Like, don't just talk the talk, walk the talk. What do you believe? And that's kind of the invitation I'm extending to you here to consider, is cast your vote. Like, what do you actually believe? Like, get real with yourself. Like, don't pretend that you're spiritual. Not pretend, but don't like if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're gonna do it, do it. I hope you feel the energy of fierceness and love coming through that. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. Believe what you believe. Walk the talk. And don't let yourself be intimidated by negative energy and fear anymore. Don't live in a skewed reality. That's old world. This is old world suffering, and there isn't enough, and survival. Well, start to value this part of your life more. What's possible in this other realm that isn't governed by all these physical laws? It's infinite. You can literally infinite. So it's sort of just like, come to the new world. Try that. Come to the new world. Believe that the feminine matters. Believe that energy is real, and don't fight with yourself anymore. And just choose that you're going to do the thing that you're here to do on earth. And I want to keep this kind of short, but the foundation of this, and I think what makes my work unique, is that I come at this not just talking about energy. I come at this with the conviction that I do, because what I'm talking about is the resurrection of Jesus, which is going to happen in you. And what I mean by that is, remember how I said you're a spark of God? Well, in the Holy Trinity, God is Jesus. Jesus is the Holy Spirit. They're all one. That's another example of how the energy world has completely different laws than the physical world. In the physical world, again, you can't be three things. In the energy world, God is three things. So you are God. God is Jesus. Jesus came here, took on all the negative energy, died, resurrected, and defeated all the negative energy the moment he resurrected. And so negative energy is already defeated. It was defeated 2,000 years ago. That's why what we deal with is just illusions. We just deal with fear. We don't deal with anything that's actually real or there. Okay. So, again, you are God. God is Jesus. Jesus resurrected. What are you here to do? You are here to resurrect. Will you resurrect? Yes or no? Kind of like I'm asking you, cast your vote. Well, you already know the answer because it already happened. So that's one of the mysteries of life, is that we are here without remembering the energy world to resurrect. But we always will. You always will. Because it already happened. You will, because it already happened. I'm going to say it again. You will, because it already happened. There's no way that you can't. And what does resurrection mean for you? You've heard about the resurrection of Jesus Christ, but what about you? As a spark of God, as the life force that you could call Jesus Christ. Well, what about you? What does that look like for you? What that means is defeating all the negativity that's inside of you from your childhood, the fears that you have now, the trauma, the fear of not being enough, the fear of not being loved, the fear of not having what you really want, the fear of your dreams not coming true, the fear of not being who you're meant to be, the fear of not, overcoming the challenges in your life, the fear of failure. These are the things that you're meant to resurrect over and through. And I named a lot of things that you're probably dealing with right now. But remember what I said? You're going to resurrect because technically you already did. How can you not? And you might be like, well, Jaya, I know lots of people who died and they were sad. I know lots of people who died with trauma. I know lots of people died with problems. Yeah, in past lives, you probably did the same thing. And then you brought them into this life. This is the secret. When I say you're going to resurrect, I didn't say in this life. Why do you think you keep coming back? Can you do it in this life? Yes. Can you do it today? What if you can do it sooner? What if you don't have to wait? That's what I'm trying to get through here. What if you can choose? What I'm saying is you are going to resurrect. How fast you do it is up to you. You can take a few more lifetimes or a lot more. You can also do it pretty damn fast in linear time. And that's a choice that your soul is making. And I know I'm speaking to somebody out there. I can feel it right now talking to you. You've never realized this, and you know it's the truth, right? You're going to, but how fast? I want to ask you a question. Do you want to resurrect as the person you are in this life? The name you have, the identity you have, the body you have, the goals that you have specifically in this life, the location that you live in. Do you want to be a resurrection story in this life? Do you want to inspire the people around you in this life? Do you? That's what I'm trying to get you to cast your vote on, because it's your choice. You don't have to wait till another lifetime. And wouldn't it be beautiful to use the opportunity that you have right now as the person you are now? Wouldn't that be a gorgeous choice that you could make? I'm inviting you to make that choice for you. And it's just a choice. Your soul makes choices all the time. And you don't have to be afraid, what if I make the wrong choice? You're making the choice. It's you. It's as simple as saying, and you can even repeat after me, I choose to resurrect in this lifetime. I choose to resurrect in this lifetime. My kitty said it. And if you're having trouble, pray. That's why God is here. Again, the energy world is not like the physical world. God is everywhere around you. God is beside you. God is in you. Don't feel like God is separate from you. Ask. Your prayers are always heard, always answered. You're always loved. You're always supported. Don't you think that God realizes it's not easy to do what I'm telling you to do? I'm telling you to do it. Like, yeah, I know, and he knows. But is it still possible? Yes. And this is why it feels hard, you guys, because, and I know I'm pushing you, but I feel like this is the day to push you. It's like, let's do it. And listen, like, you are going to resurrect. You don't have to worry about that part. I just want you to do it now. And why I'm saying it like you can is because you can. And the reason why it feels difficult to let go of all those negative things and become the person you know you're meant to be, not a year from now, but right now, is because of negative energy, right? What comes up when I say just be the person you're meant to be? Well, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if like I have the resources. I don't like I'm anxious. Or like I have too much to deal with, and like you just don't understand what I'm dealing with, and like it's gonna take me a while to like get rid of these things. But what if like you're not thinking supernatural? That's all you're thinking, the masculine again. What's practical and possible in linear time? What about the feminine again, right? Like, let's talk about energy. Let's talk about why it is possible for you to resurrect fast and now. Because negative energy was already defeated by Jesus. It's all not really there. All the things that you might have just objected with are not really there. They are illusions. They are fear. They're not actual problems. And you might be like, Jaya, the trauma I have, or the anxiety I have, or the depression I have are actual problems. Or the physical problem I have, like those are actual problems that I deal with every day. But the root cause of anything negative in your life is negative energy. And negative energy was already defeated. So I'm not saying that I can just tell you to let all of it go out of your soul. But what I am telling you is the truth, that doesn't hold any power over you. Like you're not a victim of that. And that is not actually something that is real. And don't get mad at me for saying like your anxiety isn't real. I'm not saying your experience is not real. I'm saying that the root cause of negative things is negative energy, which itself is not a real thing. It's fear. It's something that's not natural to your energy, and that's why it causes problems. And I talk about negative energy and fear like this because I can dissolve it. Like, that's what Jesus taught me to do. He showed me that he already got rid of all of it, and that's why it's so easy to clear it. It's not even there. It is the absence of something that does exist. The light exists. It is like a void. It's not even real. It's not a thing. And I go into that in my other videos. Again, you can see more about that. But what I'm saying here is like, you guys, you don't have to give it power, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to give it power. You don't have to make decisions based on it. What you can do instead, and what I've been leading to trying to say, is that positive energy is your power. You can focus on positive things and it will drive you forwards. It will cut through. It will take you to the next step. It can push you forward. But how many of us are willing to actually be positive? How many of us are actually willing to believe in our dreams? How many of us are actually willing to believe I am unlimited, I am empowered, I can do something? How many of us are actually willing to focus there instead of on the problem? What I'm saying is the problem isn't real. Don't focus there anymore. I'm not saying it's not bothering you. I'm just saying, what if you shifted your focus? What if you like cast your vote? See what I did there? Brought it back around. What if you just put your focus on what you can do? What if you put your focus on who you really know you are, and you be that, you do that, you walk the talk? What if you did that? And will negative things come up and still bother you? Possibly. Can you still shift your focus? And this is why I do the work that I do. I know it's not easy. The only reason I can show up like this right now is because I cleared a bunch of fear the last 2 hours. But you can see the result. I'm able to really get through to you. I'm able to get to the point, even though it might seem like it takes me a while. But I did, right? Like, that's a pretty powerful point that I made. That could change your life. And in 30 minutes, like, that's pretty, well, I hope it helps you. I really do. And this is something that took me, 30 plus years, not 30 minutes to learn. So pretty fast if you think about it that way. But yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. And I hope that this speaks to you, not just with words, but with energy. Like, I hope my energy also is medicine and helpful for you. And again, like, I am very sympathetic and empathetic about how hard it is to have negative energy come up. And that's why I do the work I do with clearing it. That's why I offer free consultations if you'd like to book one. That link is in the description. And yeah, but I feel like this is important to say. And I don't want to downplay that it's like, just focus on positive and negative won't never bother you. But it's like, while the process is like, keep focusing on the positive, and getting your energy cleared will make that easier. But regardless, focus there. I think that's where I'm going to end this right now. So thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have questions, you can email me. My email's in the description. And I really hope that this nourished you. Lots of love. Bye.